Hello everybody, I'm Ampex, and today I kind of want to just talk about a growing trend that I've been seeing throughout the Flesh and Blood community, all the way from the top to the very, very bottom. The use of AI in everything these days seems to become more and more normalized, even though it's been proven time and time again that all it does is steal from artists, churns out something that is lifeless, utter nonsense, that is taking the livelihood away from people who could actually make something. I'm not saying that all AI is bad. AI definitely has its place. Even small things like spell check is technically some sort of AI. But when it comes to something specifically like Flesh and Blood, and also the content creation around Flesh and Blood, that's where I feel it starts to become a problem, and I feel that more people need to be talking about this. Now, I am not the first person to bring this up. The reason I actually wanted to make this video was because of another creator. I cannot remember their name right now, but I will hopefully have it linked down in the description of this video. And there's kind of just three main areas that I just want to discuss today. And the first one being the biggest one that probably most people know, that's the tweet from James White where he was showing off what could possibly be the new Dromai coming out in 2027, and it was using an AI image. There is a lot of back and forth on this. I think it's pretty obvious that this is very bad for just everything as a whole, let alone the game. Seeing the creator of the game using AI for cards that are in production. James White then goes on to try to explain this usage of AI in another follow-up tweet saying, "A hammer is a tool that can build things or destroy them. I like to build things. Things that brilliantly creative people then get to make look good and benefit from once the structure is in place. The tool is not the problem, it's how you use it." He then continues by saying, "Being able to more effectively prototype future products for internal testing increases product velocity, which means more art is commissioned from our amazing artists for published products. This benefits artists. Prototypes eventually end up in the trash where they belong." Continuing saying, "We spend millions of dollars commissioning world-class art and showcase our artists on the world tour. We firmly stand by our artist." I think there's many things wrong with this tweet. The facts that James White just doesn't see the initial problem with using AI for a game where half of the card is art, if not more when we're talking about extended arts showing off more of the piece, which yes, he's not using the art in the final product, but my question is, Dromai's been around for a very long time, and there had to be some initial mock-ups, and you're telling me that there wasn't anything else that he could have grabbed from an old picture or old usage, or even just the same picture that was for the other one but maybe in an earlier stage, and that was somehow the slower, worse option than going into a prompt, typing something in, putting slop out for his whole team to see. Now, I know that this is kind of a small thing. Yes, it's an internal testing, and if it stayed there, it probably wouldn't have been a problem, but the fact that he so openly posted it, knowing it that it was generative AI, it's going to create a lot of doubt in parts of the community. I do not think that they will ever use AI in their final products, because if they do, they know that they're going to be roasted beyond belief. Stepping away from the main stage and moving on to some side products that are not officially supported in any way, there is a very popular PvE product called Overlord Engine 3. This is a product where I think more of the harm is that it's been covered by large creators on this platform, very popular creators on this platform, and supported in the comments of those videos by other creators, and yet it is very obviously almost completely made with AI, the art at least. I think that the mechanics are really well thought out. This is a product that I personally wanted to try to purchase and get invested in as soon as I heard about it, but then looking deeper, I found out that all the art was made from AI for a game that, again, most of the product is the art, and he's wanting to make money off of this, which I think that he should for the mechanics, and now is asking for money via a Ko-Fi shop. But it's still insane to see something like this happen, because usually the pipeline for creating something like this is, hey guys, I have an idea. I would love for you guys to support it. I'm going to make a Kickstarter or some type of crowdfunding so I can get art. I can put these mechanics. I need play testers, and you guys can play on these blank cards that have no art, because that's not the point. That's not the good part. A community like Flesh and Blood would have been so willing to help, but now you have gotten off on the wrong foot. I would just like to prove that I'm not talking out of my ass here. I contacted the creator of this and asked him if there was any plans to replace the art, and he said, not in the near future. I know it's not ideal. I would love to have real art, but commissioning professional artists is crazy expensive, and I am far from having any budget to do so. But that's why you do crowdfunding. That's why you get the money first and then make the thing. That's why you don't just type prompts and get generative AI slop that is based off of it's robots stealing the art of the game that you love because you want to make something for the game that you love. So you're stealing from it. Not the mechanics, whatever, but other people's livelihood with art and stuff like that is just getting ripped away and put into a computer. Because a lot of the art from this, I mean, look at this. Look at this and tell me this isn't based off of Flesh and Blood cards. He would have had to take those images, or those images that were already taken, put into a machine, and now there's just slop. But now to my third little category, which is the smallest of the small, but while doing research for this video and also just consuming content, I found thumbnails that used AI, and that's why this is kind of at the end. I know that this one causes the least problems, but it was still just weird. These were, one of the videos at the time only had 20 views, but it was only posted a day ago, and the other one almost had 1,000. And it was just really weird seeing, and I'm not going to show any pictures of these, but it was just really weird seeing AI trying to copy one over top of artwork, and the one just recreating artwork. And I just, why? There's so much artwork. There's so many cards that you could rip from. You don't even have to use the hero art. Find an art card that kind of gives you the same vibes, but nope, that wasn't good enough. It wasn't fast enough, whatever reason. You know, maybe they were trying to make a style that's all their own, but the style isn't their own. Their style is a computer's amalgamation of other people's style. I don't think it will ever get into the true game. I think it will stay on all these kind of outskirts. But I also don't think that we should just keep sweeping it under the rug. Because if there's any takeaways, it's that I kind of just want things like this to be brought up, talked about, and then we move on. We know that it's wrong. Everyone acknowledges that it's wrong. You know, pitchforks down, you know, nothing, put the torches out. But if it starts to, you know, get worse, then more and more discussion needs to happen. All right, thank you everybody for listening to me ramble. Hopefully my next video will be more lighthearted. I do plan on making an Acilio Sage deck very soon. Thank you everybody for watching. Have a great day.